This I think is relatively fun. We're kind of relating retirement to this idea of a puzzle, if you will, a retirement puzzle.
Do you do puzzles?
Not real well, no.
I don't have the patience for them, but I guess I do have the patience for a puzzle in retirement because I do those puzzles.
And I'm so glad you do, because we've got a lot to get into. Let me set the scene for our viewers. There are a lot of moving parts when it comes to preparing for retirement. When should I take my Social Security? When might I accidentally trigger higher taxes? What if I make a wrong move with my retirement savings? On today's show, Megan will help you find ways to address your retirement income puzzle. And there really are so many moving parts outside that can impact a plan, even if we have a plan in place. And it's like finding the right pieces to fall into that puzzle, which I'm not really good at, but you said you're great at it.
Well, I don't really love the puzzles at home, but I love a good puzzle when it comes to retirement planning. Most of the people that we meet with, this is the first time they've done it. So they don't know what they don't know. They don't know the questions to ask. They definitely don't know the answers to those questions. And I think a lot of it too is just making sure that the decisions that they're making, these are impactful. When do I take Social Security? How do I make sure I take my distributions the right way from a tax perspective? And what about required distributions? Most people don't even know what they are, let alone how to take them and what the rules and regulations are around them. And you do it wrong and it can be devastating. So making sure that you understand those things, I think are important. And so it's great when you sit down with somebody like us, Amy, and the advisors in our office, because they understand the parameters. They might not know exactly all the pieces to the puzzle.
Because everybody's puzzle is different.
Everybody's different. You are going to bring the pieces to us, and then we're going to figure out how to put that puzzle together. And the good news is I'm not patient when it comes to puzzles at home. You're never going to see me do a puzzle.
However, when it
comes to this stuff, this is my wheelhouse. This is what I love. This is where I can, really take my time and thrive. And we're going to find all those pieces, and we're going to figure out how they all fit together.
Okay, let's talk about just putting together that income strategy. We know that we do not have a paycheck coming any longer. Unfortunately, still trying to get that changed before I retire, but sadly, it will not be that way. And so we're trying to get all of these pieces together to put together that income strategy. What does that look like?
So the first thing that we're going to look at is, what are your income streams that are coming in on a monthly basis? So do you have Social Security that's coming in? Have you made that decision yet? If you haven't, when do I take Social Security? The good thing is that they've taken away a lot of the different ways to take Social Security, so it's not as complex as it used to be. So we're going to look at taking the Social Security, but making sure it's right for you and your situation. And then we're going to look at, maybe, is there a pension, or do you have another business, or is there rental properties, or maybe a farm income? But what other income streams do you have coming in? And then we're going to look at, what are your spending plans? What do you spend on a monthly basis? And this can be really, fun for our families to talk about. I don't like the B word.
I was going to say, I know you don't use that.
Try
and
not
I think
to.
that's a good approach.
Yeah. Well, most people don't want to be put on a budget.
Right.
But if we go in and say, okay, Joe, okay, Mary, let's talk about your spending plan. That seems a lot more...
more positive.
It's more positive,
uplifting.
and we're having a better conversation. So we're going to talk about your spending plan, what that looks like, and then, is there a gap? Is there additional income that you need to take from your retirement accounts or your portfolio to fill in any difference? And if I know you need $5,000 a month and you have only $3,000 coming in, the math is pretty easy, right? And adjust it for inflation and make sure we do something smart around all those different puzzle pieces. But the caveat to that is that with everything changing like it is, with the markets changing and tax law changing and environment and interest rate, all these different moving pieces, you have to have a plan that takes all of those pieces to the puzzle and puts it together. And that's what we sit down and do with our families.
Let's go back to Social Security just a little bit, because I know Social Security there are so many decisions to make, so many questions to answer.
Right.
How do you help someone kind of fit in the right puzzle piece in terms of, like, when do I start taking Social Security, and how that benefit can work for me ultimately throughout retirement?
Well, so the good news is that we do have some technology. I don't know how people did our job, 50 years ago, 30 years ago, even 20 years ago. When I started, it was a little bit different than it is today. Luckily, today we have some technology that helps us do some break-even analysis. If we were to take Social Security today, what would it look like? If we were to take Social Security maybe at max At age 70, what would it look like? And at what point in time do we need to break even, or could we break even? And I am of the philosophy, and I think everybody is a little bit different, but at our firm, we're of the philosophy that would you rather have more money early on in your retirement, or wait until the break-even point? So let's say your break-even point is around age 80, which it is for most people.
Right.
Would you rather have more money between 65 and 80 when you're in your go-go years and you can enjoy that money?
I would think so.
Or would you rather have more money after age 80? I don't even know if I'll be here at age 80. And now I might be, but if I am, I'm definitely not going to be doing the same things I'm doing in my 60s. Hopefully I'm in my go-go years. I can spend that money. So those are the type of things that we're going to talk about with our families. And those are the type of things that help us drive them in helping and assisting them in the decision of when to take Social Security.